We're just playing today with my alcohol ink, so come on along and let's see what we can come up with. Colors are going to be Yonder and Dandelion and Gravel. These are all part of the Ranger inks, and these are the Kamenskaya Gold and Copper, or Bronze rather. And there's the alcohol I'm using today, 99% and a 70% only because that's what I was able to find. Ink is going down straight onto the Yupo paper. I've taken this paper and I have put it down with some Scotch tape, real cheap stuff, and you'll see why later when we get finished. It does create a nice little border around the outside. And all I'm doing, putting some color down, moving it around, see what develops. One of the charms of alcohol ink is that it's kind of is the boss, and you can try to control it, but generally speaking, it's going to tell you what it wants to do, and you work with it. The skill comes in with knowing how your inks are going to respond. So just like I said, I put some ink down, a little bit of alcohol on top of that, and I'm just going to move it around, see what I can get going as far as lines and the flow of it. What happens here at the beginning is never the way it ends up at the end. One of the reasons I like alcohol ink so much is because you really don't have any expectations as to what it's going to be about. If I worked with the inks every day, I'm sure I'd have a lot more of a clue of how to get a feeling every time I pick them up. I am playing with this today in my new art room, which is not set up yet, but I felt like I needed to get into the space and start getting used to it. I did learn a few things today about where I want to go and what needs to happen with it. I am still in Arizona. We've recently moved into a house here, and I have the availability of an art room. I'm turning in a shed into my space, so it's not large. It's 8 by 12, but it's plenty big for what I need to do. Now this dandelion is it's a vibrant yellow, and I really do like it. As you can see over on the blue side, there's a little bit of a magenta that kind of shows up with the yellow. It doesn't. This is gravel, and gravel is more of a brown, dark, kind of grungy looking brown. And like I said, all I'm trying to do here is get the inks to move around and get something going as far as the flow. And you can see there that the yellow actually held its integrity as I went through the blue. Yeah, there was a little bit of green that becomes created, but it, generally speaking, is not as much as you would see, let's say, in watercolor. I'm moving the ink around now to try to take advantage of that border so that you can actually see it in the end product. Soften it up just a little bit. Continue to move the ink around. Okay, picked up my stencils, and I thought, well, let's see what I can do here to lift some of this ink up and create something that wasn't there before. And it's just using my dabber and coming through and lifting up that ink in the shapes that I'm looking for. Those sunflowers are very nice, and I'm going to probably have to do some more work with this, but you'll see in a minute. They do actually lift that ink up. You have to just wait for it to dry a little bit and just dab away. Sorry about my head there. Okay, I decided I wanted to use the bumblebee in this after all. Cut a little bit of it out there. I wasn't happy with the first attempt, and what I'm doing now is I'm coming in with the gravel and I'm dabbing some ink into the spaces. Drying it up a little bit before I remove it, and there we have it. Okay, let's talk about this for a few seconds. This was the first ink I've done in quite some time. Okay, I'm gonna guess about 6 months. And it was this little bit of the stencil work I did was just try to save it. You can see where I used alcohol lift to pull up the ink around the flowers. Yeah, I think I may go into the pasta pen later, and try to bring those out a little bit. I did the bee, and the bee didn't really kind of work for me, so I had to go back in and stencil it again with the gravel. Overall, it's an alcohol ink that looks like I did it after having taken a long break. But I love working with alcohol inks, even if it's not my forte, because it's just wonderful to watch the inks do their thing, and it's a marvelous technique that I really need to practice a little bit more. But honestly, can't put this down as a total failure, but I will say that it's because it has aspects of it I really like. This has been Thursday Train. Up before me was Gert of Gert Creates, and after me is going to be Corey and Adrian from Art's Really Cool. So Janice and Julie are not with us this week, but they will be back soon. So without any further ado, I want to thank you very much for being here, and I hope you did get something out of this today. Until next time, bye for now.